The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard.
Just 5 races remain in the second season of 2017's Bootleg Racing League, and J.R. Shepherd continues to be on top of the standings as he was all of Season 1. However, this season, he hasn't been able to run away with the championship like he did in Season 1. Instead, 4 others are within 20 points of the point lead. Tonight, we come to the home of the Snowball Derby, Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida for Round 7 of the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing channel. Good evening, I'm Chris Scala. Sean Ambrose, is out attending a graduation for his son, and we send congratulations to the whole Ambrose family for the graduation. So alongside me tonight, actually a guy who, they always say you picked him up on the side of the road. I was traveling down I-65 from Indiana from the race last week, and lo and behold, there's this guy with a sign that says, "We'll work for food," and it was James Krahula. He joins me tonight. We'll talk to him in a second. Joe Peak, of course, is always working behind the scenes, and Dougie Beard on cameras. Now, we saw a 4 to 5 car dogfight basically all night last week in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Raceway, and somehow Philip Temple survived the battles from Shepard, LaVenture, Donnie Moore, and so many others to win his second race of the season. When I say battle, I mean he never pulled Temples. Now, we got y'all cleaned up here in Bootleg now. Good thing I picked it instead of $8 tonight. But we're in the Panhandle state of Florida. Five Flags Speedway. Tell us about this track, my friend.
Five Flags Speedway, home of the Snowball Derby. Though we are getting close to the summer months, so more like a snow cone here is a little bit more appropriate. But this famous short track, half mile out here, very wide, sweeping turns, 15 degrees of banking. It is a fast little track, and we're gonna definitely have a lot of fun racing out here tonight. But let's take a few laps around the Five Flags Speedway here.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel. I'm Brian Yazik. This is the legendary Five Flags Speedway, and this is the GSRC SK Modified. So without further ado, here we go. This is how you get around this little joint. It's a very unique track because you're always turning to the left. As you can see down here in 1 and 2, you're going to find that white line, come all the way, float back up, still have the wheel turned a little bit back down to the bottom in turns 3 and 4. Watch the wheel spin off of the corner. The Modified will want to bite off of that corner, and the rear is going to want to step around and meet the front of the car. But as I said, it always kind of feels like you're turning left here. As you can see, the wheel never really straightens out. Back down into 3 and 4 again. Watching that wheel spin off of 4. But as you see right here, the start-finish line is almost right in front of the entrance to the corner. So you really are hitting the brakes early and often, and I use the term front straightaway in a very loose fashion here. 3 and 4 again. You don't want to jump down and hit that curving because you see there's a pit wall waiting for you right there. Really will mess up your entire race. 1 and 2, don't want to hit that wall either. The track kind of opens up a little bit. You might see guys move about half a lane up, try to get a better run off of the corner. Just have to see how the tires hold off and if the drivers can hold their tempers as well. Five Flags is a fun little short track, half a mile long, and it is a legend in its own right for a reason. So without further ado, this is your track guide around Five Flags Speedway. I'm Brian Yazik. Enjoy the show.
And that's a lap around the Five Flags Speedway. It's a very fun track here in the Panhandle of Florida. Now, we are joined, I should say, by J.R. Shepard, a gentleman who has led a lot of laps this season. He's been the dominant guy all season long, and basically he's not as much of a point lead as he had there in Season 1, but you are still the point leader, and you've been it pretty much all season long. But talk about tonight, JR, your expectations and trying to stretch that lead a little bit.
Yeah, Chris, really tonight, just looking to go out and have a clean race. We're here at Five Flags Speedway, and I mean the temperature is only around 77 degrees, but based on practice, the track is extremely slick. So I've noticed that the car is getting real loose going into the corner, which is a bit of a surprise. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a handful tonight.
How much is the banking, you think, playing a role in that?
Yeah, it's definitely playing a role in it, and I hope that the groove moves around a little bit. I hope that we can get some side-by-side racing. I think with the banking, this is one of the tracks that we can do it on. So hopefully we'll put on a good show for everybody that's watching.
Now, last season we talked about Season 1, how you kind of just blew away everybody. Yeah, LaVenture was injured and that kind of thing, and you just seemed to be up front for everything. This season you got 5 guys within 20 points. How much pressure has that been putting on you?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's picked it up, and I think the last couple of seasons, several guys have had a lot of bad luck. So, I think if they hadn't had that kind of luck the last couple of seasons, it'd have been tight then too. So, a lot of luck goes into these races. Being in the right place at the right time, and with the double file restarts, if you're at a single groove track, it can really hurt you. So. Yeah, it's good to see everybody running up front. I mean, look at the time sheets tonight. Everybody's times are extremely close.
Yeah, you got the top 5 all within 7/100 of a second. That is pretty tight. Not to mention, you already won the street stock race tonight, so can you go 2 for 2?
We're going to try to. I think I'm going to get stuck on the outside for this start, so we'll see how the outside is and go from there.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate your time, and as always, we might just talk to you here in about an hour.
Sounds great, Chris. See you guys. Have a good broadcast.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you. That is J.R. Shepard. And, of course, that interview brought to you by Virtual Grip Network. It's a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing at virtualgrip.net. You can stay up to date with what's happening at iRacing and keep up with the World Championship Series, including the Blanc Pond GT Series, the NASCAR Pink Antifreeze Series, and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. So, James, as we kind of mentioned a little bit ago, the point standings, it's a tight one here. Last season, JR just ran away with the show, but as you see on the screen, the top 5 are all within 20 points.
Yeah, and of course, J.R. Shepard, who we just talked to, 75 points leading right now. Matt LaVenture, only 8 points back. Of course, Donnie Moore, Philip Temples, they moved up over Matt Hoos last week. But 20 points surrounding your top 5, and as you're saying, with 5 races to go, it is definitely a very close battle. So, J.R. Shepard, he can't slow down at any point and coast through. He needs to keep on going.
And I see we have some Krahulanites watching us on the stream tonight. Those are fans of James Krahula, in case those don't understand what that word means. And for those who might be watching us for the first time tonight, James, and following you around, let's talk about the race details here, because this is a whole nother monster when it comes to these modifieds.
Yeah, and we're coming out here tonight. Again, I love this Bootleg Racing League. This is a series that I've followed here in the past. So we have the SK Modifieds out here tonight. We are running a fixed setup. Last week, they inverted the top 10, so your 10th place finisher will be starting here on point tonight for the 100-lap main event coming up here in just a few minutes. They give these guys 1 fast repairs, 100% fuel, but one of the coolest things about this series, you cannot change tires. If your car goes up on the jack, your race is done. The incident cap, they don't have one here tonight. Double file restarts, those are back here. And of course, dynamic weather, we're seeing a very cozy 77 degrees here down in Pensacola, Florida here tonight.
That's the perfect weather for the panhandle of Florida in the month of May. Wow, perfect weather. But should be a pretty fun race here this evening for those watching us, especially tonight. And if you are streaming us, kind of like Justin Rodden is, you can chat with us on our GSRC page. And of course, if you're watching us on iRacing Live, easy for me to say, then we appreciate you watching us this evening. Now, James, I always come up with a couple keys for this race, and let's talk about Five Flags in particular here. A tire eater. This track eats up tires. So how do you keep the tires under you for 100 laps?
Well, you can't go out quick, and you're seeing these guys also. They're having a lot of trouble getting hooked up here tonight. So you can't really burn up your stuff here early on. You really got to hope for a lot of yellows, personally, and they might just get them here tonight. But you got to take care of your stuff if you want to have a chance there at the end. And I think that your next key is something that might play a role in that saving tires.
Yes, sir. And I'm already seeing that track is turning awfully dark on that bottom line. So multi-groove racing. Will we see the high line come into play tonight?
You have seen that come in multiple times here at the Five Flags Speedway. You could definitely run that outside groove and make it a viable option. I'm seeing a couple guys here that are at least keeping pace there on the outside. Maybe we'll see that come later on. And if you saved your tires, the outside might be a viable way to get up to the front.
Now, James, you're a driver. Okay, you've you're in some pretty competitive leagues. You run a pretty big league yourself, and I asked this question to you because you've been in a spot driving under pressure. So if you're somebody like J.R. Shepard, who's leading the points, and you got 4 guys right behind you ready to attack, you're under pressure. How do you keep it from biting you and hurting you in the end?
Well, I tell you what, these guys got to be some of the best at doing that personally. When you're running these short tracks week in and week out, when the racing is this close and you have hardly anywhere to go, these guys are used to the pressure. This is something that, maybe it's not affecting them as much, and there's a reason that J.R. Shepard has been doing so well this last season and again this season is because he's probably handling that pressure very well. That's one of the major things and ways to be successful here in short track racing. So J.R. Shepard just needs to keep doing exactly what he's been doing.
And there's a reason why he is a 3-time champion in this league. And you see on screen there the number 2 Indianapolis Colts SK Modified newcomer Indiana driver Ryan Detzler. He has been running down in the lower series, even in the dirt series that they do on Tuesday nights. He is making his season debut tonight and his first career race in the number 2 there from Indiana. He is going to be somebody I think potentially to watch. He's 9th fastest right now, but when I tell you the 9th fastest car is only 1/10 behind the leader, that just shows you how tight of a field this is. As a matter of fact, all the way 1st through 9th is separated by 17 100ths if you really want to get the math and pull it out there. But James, we usually do this to Sean, and Sean, let's just say it hurts him a lot, unfortunately, when this happens because he does his best to make a good pick and it doesn't work. So James, I'm going to put you on the spot. Pick me a winner tonight, or try.
My favorite, I like Philip Temples. He's been running good here the last few weeks. Second on the board right now. Give me Philip Temples.
Oh, so Philip Temples is third win tonight. Go ahead.
I ain't afraid. I won't feel cracked under the pressure like Sean will.
He did win last week at Lucas Oil Raceway, that Piggly Wiggly car. In case you don't know, that is a grocery store line, by the way. But Florida driver looking to get a win in his home state here in the Panhandle. And that should be a pretty interesting challenge here for him. But when you got a field like this, James, we're about 2 minutes from gridding here. When you have a field like this where you got the top 9 guys all within a 10th, how much fun does this make it? Because of the fact that you're not sure if you're starting back in 10th or you're starting on the pole, how tough it's going to be to get through this field.
Oh, and that's something that these guys deal with week in and week out, especially with the fixed setups out here. It's all about the driver. And you also with running dynamic weather, you don't know exactly what you're going to get. You can't go in there and run a ton of practice laps and get ready and know exactly what you're going to be dealing with heading into the event. So anyone in that top 10, it could definitely come out and play an advantage. Even the guys back there in 10th and everything, as you're saying, they're not that far off. Anyone in this field right here definitely has a chance at winning tonight. Even though I picked a pick very easily, it's going to be hard to honestly pick a favorite.
Well, you picked a guy who's going to start somewhere around 10th. If all 10 showed up from the top 10 last week, he'll start 10th. But if not, he'll be right there near the back, and that's Phil Temples.
Phil Temples do some crazy stuff and come from further in the field than that before, and do quite well. So Phil Temples can get it done.
He can get it done. So can a lot of other drivers here. We're about 20 seconds away from green. As I mentioned again, if you're chatting with us tonight, feel free to do so over on the Global Sim Racing Channel YouTube page. Also, if you're watching us on iRacing Live, make sure you do join us each and every Saturday night. We're here 9:15 Eastern Time. That's 6:15 out in California, and that's 3:15 if you're listening in Honolulu, which there could be some people, you never know. But we appreciate everybody watching us here this evening as the field is going to get the checkered flag on practice, and we will grid them up here for the 100-lap feature, the Outlaw 100 and the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series. As we just wait for the screen to go away here, and we'll get the grid as the starting lineup for the race. The pole sitter is going to be slowly stalling here. Lowell Jewell, I believe, is who I'm seeing here starting on the pole. Yep, alongside him will be J.R. Shepard, James.
John Hinn will be starting in 3rd place. Outside of him, John Holcomb in 4th.
John and John. Making up row 2, and Matt and Tim Shanowski making up row 3.
Well, there's no correlation on row 4, but Donnie Moore will be starting 7th, and Philip Temples will be starting in 8th.
There you said. Temple's going to start in the 8th position. Should be interesting for him. See if he can fight his way up there. Mike Holloway, Brian Barden going to start 10th.
And in 11th, Jeff Sharp. Outside of him, Ryan Detzler.
And the final 3 starters tonight, Jacob Williams, David Loomis, and a guy I think had just entered the room literally in the last 2 seconds. Chip Dickert will start shotgun, tail end Charlie on the field. The 15 cars, a pretty healthy field here. Now, this is a bigger track, James. A lot of the tracks that these Outlaws run are smaller tracks. Now, last week, Lucas Oil Raceway is one of the bigger tracks that they've run on the season. But tonight, a very fast half-mile oval. Kind of got a little Bristol feel to it when I say that high banking, fast speeds, thing like that. So that's going to produce some really fun racing here where, as you said, it's going to be tough to pass, but at the same time, somebody can make a mistake. You can make your move.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys are happy to get back down to the bottom of the racetrack and have a little bit more control over the passing and everything to try and make a move happen. But again, this is even though kind of similar in length, just a little bit smaller than Lucas Oil. Still a completely different track than the one that they were at last week, even though they look almost kind of similar.
It'll be 100 laps of racing and 50 miles of action as we will get one to green this time by. Pace car lights
I'm excited.
off. If you're not excited,
it's been over a year.
Yeah,
It's been over a year since I covered one, and I'm really excited to be back. I love dropping in and seeing the old guys here.
I was going to say, the last time you were here, I think I had a full of lettuce on my head.
Yeah, now he's well, we got the bald. We got the bald and the beautiful here. And that's
that
Joe
down,
Peak.
Joe.
I don't know what I fall under that category, but I do know that I'm excited and ready to go racing, Chris.
Right, 100 laps of racing in the Outlaws, bald and the beautiful. Wow. Lowell Jewell on it. We're going racing here at Five Flags and gets a really good jump. Lowell Jewell out there. J.R. Shepard going to get to the bottom. John Hine there in his 75. John Holcomb. The Johns going to battle each other for third. Look at Shepard off 2. He just caught Lowell like he was parked.
Yeah, gave him a little bit of a bump there, but you'll see that here a little bit tonight. They're going to use those chrome bumpers up there, try and get around, but clean and green here after the first lap.
Yeah, the guy getting shuffled back right now, the 69, the Indiana driver of John Holcomb, actually Ohio driver, wrong state. But Tim Shanowski goes by. Donnie Moore almost hip checks him there, and here comes Temples. But that Lawrence towing car is on the outside going backwards. Now he's going to try to fight in that high line.
Yeah, but that high line, it's...
And for the lead, Shepard going to the front. John Hine going to follow him in that 75 maybe. Lowell shuts the door, but Shepard, first lead change of the night.
Getting right to work here. But again, we got a car loose off of 2. He saves it. It went 3 wide there in the backstretch to avoid him.
Look like Tim Shanowski. Look like Tim Shanowski in the 07 went all sideways there. And he's going to lose a lot of spots. Fall all the way back to the 10th position here. Tim started in 4th. And now he's trying to fight his way up there. Got a little shaky there.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to be the last person we see get loose here. We saw them really fighting those cars all throughout practice. So, especially as we get later in the run and as abrasive of a racetrack as this is, the cars are not going to start handling any better.
Lowell Jewell falling backwards. Already back to the 5th position. Donnie Moore's gone by. Here comes Temples. Tell you what, this is driving a lot like Bristol. You get in a high line or the old Bristol, you're falling backwards as Lowell scrapes it up a little bit there. 31's going to go by of Mike Holloway. Here comes the 69 of Holcomb, who finally gets to the bottom. If you're a purple or pink and black car, you're not having good success right now. Shepard has opened up to about a 0.4 of a second lead over John Hine, making his one of his top 5 starts, I believe. He's only made a couple here in this league so far. But Matt Chinoski, Donnie Moore, Philip Temples, your top 5. Now,
Yeah,
James,
go ahead.
I was going to say, since you haven't been here for about a year, I'm going to update you on how this usually works. With the Outlaws, it's usually either a long green run and then a few cautions, or it's a few cautions and a long green run.
Well, which one are you banking on?
Right now, a long green run, it looks like it's happening now. Let's hope it just stays long green run the whole time, because it seems like anytime I talk about you and yellows, something happens weird. So I'm just going to stop.
Well, and I think that it is, as difficult.
Oh, Matt Chinoski getting loose.
Chris, stop talking.
Swatting flies. He's swatting them.
Well, I mean, as I was saying in practice, these guys already had it starting out with a handful, even on fresh tires. I think that they're being a little careful out here, and that's why I think we're seeing this everyone playing nice here, because they're trying to make sure that they give enough room and don't go too crazy and everything. Typically, the more difficult the car is to drive, I've seen the cleaner the racing actually is, because everyone gets spread out a little bit easier. But these guys are packed in together still.
Isn't that weird how that works in iRacing? The worse the car drives, the better the racing is. Oh, Shinowski gets loose in her in the corner and goes up the track.
Well,
he is having a handful.
I'm surprised we haven't had a yellow, because even though that the racing's been good, they've been all over each other this entire race. We've had a lot of close moments.
The guy on the move so far, though, is Phil Temples. The guy you picked started 8th and now is working his way for 2nd underneath the Menards car. Temples is moving in that 19. Does James know something that none of us knows?
I just know that I remember Philip Temples being very good. But yeah, here's the funny thing. You know how Sean kind of dreads that. You know that he tried to actually break into my house and broadcast this week. He wanted to do this race here tonight. I told him, no way, I'm getting in on the action.
It is true. It's true.
He's visiting right down the road from me, and I'm here. Let him go celebrate with his fun. I want to watch some racing.
Absolutely, yeah. As we're watching the battle for 8th, Shinowski Tim going underneath Jacob Williams here and slides it in there, makes the pass for the 8th position. Jacob going to try to cross him over. How about just push him down the straightaway? Why not? But Shepard still out to about 0.8 of a second lead right now on Phil Temples, who last time by is about a 10th or so slower. Shepard's been the car to beat so far this evening. But pretty much from 3rd on back, we have a line of cars. John Hine in the wall. What happened there? That actually scared me.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
I'm just, because we got a camera right there, and it just, wow. We're about to see what happened here. First caution out. Something had to happen to John Hine. I'm not sure if it was maybe his wheel came off or something. I can't guess.
Something broke. You don't, either the screen went blank, right, or the wheel turned off, or something there, but something definitely broke there. You don't make that driving error going into the turn like that.
I mean, it'd be different if he went left and then right, but he didn't do that. This car just veered right. Let's watch here. This is gonna be painful. You know, Five Flags doesn't host any NASCAR events, so there's no soft walls here. You're right on board down the back straightaway. He's just going. Let's watch his hands here. This might tell us. Yeah, that says enough. Chip Dickert going to get the wave around here at 2 to go, but first caution out. Looks like hardware failure on John Hine. Tough break for him running 2nd. Definitely been a wild start so far, though, James.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the rest of this race. If that's how they're starting out, I can't wait till we get towards the end.
Either way, the first caution is out, and if it was a wheel going out on you type of thing, which has happened to me, I've driven plenty of times and my wheel is either come unplugged or something's gone wrong. I guess it's safe to sing the famous song. It's you picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel.
Oh, that was painful, but it sadly fits. You know, and you were saying that. I finally just upgraded after 13 years with my old wheel, and I got done with a race in Kentucky a few weeks ago. I almost moved that thing off the desk. It's not impossible to do. And we just saw our lucky dog go by there a few seconds ago. That should be, I'm thinking, Chip Deckert getting the wave around.
Yeah, Chip Deckert going to get the wave around. Did I just hear you say you spent 13 years on a wheel?
The old trusty TSW Super Wheel. That was what Dale Earnhardt Jr. was running at the time. So, of course, I wanted it too. And, man, that thing lasted me 13 years. But I believe the guys are getting caught up here. I think we're going back to green here this next time by.
We are, and something tells me you're trying to change the subject on purpose, because something tells me that was a play school wheel you were really using, wasn't it?
Oh, no. It was definitely very, very basic, and I think that's why it lasted so long.
Pace car going to pull off. Is J.R. Shepard going to lead him back to green? Lap number 24. 23 in the books. Phil Temple's going to try to get up there with him. Donnie Moore now up to third and move Mike Holloway to 31 up to the fourth position. Temple's going to get jumped there by Donnie. Nope, he's going to clear him. That's another thing you see here, James, is the different entries in the track there. You saw turn 3 and 4. Shepard went high into the corner and turned down. Temple's kind of with the lower approach. Just the different entries you're seeing here.
Yeah, this track is definitely a very racy track. Again, as you're saying, there's multiple ways to get around here. And, again, if they could just work in that groove just a little bit more, that outside could be viable here later on. But also the chrome bumper always has been quite efficient at passing.
Now, I'm going to throw a little personal dig at you here, James, for a second, but did you see how that restart was on old tires?
Oh, and of course, Justin's making fun of me for it in the channel as well, but that's all right. I got my bonus points. No one died. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Oh, we got a yellow. We can see that's
16 Brian Barden, Chip Dickert. Yep. And for those who will see this on replay, we'll talk about this here real quickly. As Dickert goes into the corner here, and he didn't get any practice at all. I don't know if he just had the NASCAR issue of getting through tech or something, but he goes into the corner, and wow, him and Barden just come together. Splitsville as Detzler goes through there, but caution number 2 on the track. Now, for those who don't, James is his league called the Premier Racing League that you see on GSRC. He Thursday night was running a race in Martinsville and decided to stay out at the end of one of his stages, or at the end of a stage on old tires, and almost wiped the field out.
Oh, but I didn't. I'll still get a lot of crap for it, but I didn't touch anybody. That's my plead. My plead of innocence. I screwed up really bad.
He admits it. I got him to admit it. Anyways, Shepard leads as we take a look at your top 10 right now. It's Shepard, Temples, Donnie Moore up to third. Mike Holloway still there in fourth. You got the Shinosky brothers locking out fifth and sixth with Matt and Tim, John Holcomb, Jacob Williams, Jeff Sharp, and Lowell Jewell, the pole sitter, all the way back in the 10th position here. Only one car out of the race right now, John Hine, after what appears to be some kind of hardware failure, as he beelined it to the outside wall. But already 30 laps in.
I'm having a blast here tonight. I'm going to try and enjoy it to the fullest, because after these guys go back and watch this broadcast, there's no way that Lowell's going to allow me to come back and ever broadcast for them again.
Well, then we'll have to figure out next week all over again, because I don't think Sean's coming back anytime soon. So we got Southern next week, and maybe we get Sean back, but we'll have to see how that goes. But I've been yelled at too many times for doing Lowell impersonation, so I won't say anything more.
Oh, Lowell's one of my favorite people to work with, and been sending emails back and forth. There's going to be some dirt racing here with these guys here next week too. So right after Southern National, these guys are making the trip over to Ohio to run some Eldora. So they'll be playing along with the Premier Racing League and also the Lionheart IndyCar Series. So that'll be playing here next week after their broadcast.
They've got some good dirt guys in this league. Joe and Sean and myself run in this league, and actually JR and I had this on video. I had one of the craziest fights I think I've ever had in iRacing this past Tuesday night at Eldora. Him and I battled for about 15 laps straight at side by side, and Joe finished fourth, though, by the way, in that race, and he did a great job. I finished sixth, got passed by Joe by JR only because I about knocked the wall down on a final lap off 4, but that was a war.
I heard inviting these guys was a big mistake if we want a chance at winning, but really looking forward to that next week. So but we're ready to go back racing here.
Yes, we are. Shepard going to lead him back to the green. Let's see when he jumps on it. Got the Piggly Wiggly car of Phil Temple's going to try to time his restart. JR slow on the gas. That ought to be interesting. This Temple's going to get a black flag for that.
Ooh, that was close. We'll find out here before too long.
Nobody's cued to Mike yet, so I'm not sure if anything's happened. As Donnie Moore and Mike Holloway back here for third. They're almost touching wheel to wheel. Fight back here, third through seventh all on the screen. The Shinosky brothers going side by side. Matt sticking 3 wide here, maybe. Dives it back to 2. Smarter heads prevail.
Look at that. That upper groove, it's not fully there yet, but if you still have enough people running it, I think you can maybe make it work later on. You definitely still want to be on the bottom, but that upper groove is at least halfway competitive up there now.
Yeah, and you see Holloway's able to run it right now against John Holcomb. Him and Holcomb been side by side for about a lap or two. Holcomb finally clears him. Here comes Tim Shanowski. But that inside train starting to form up again. Unfortunately, that beeping noise you're hearing on your screen is Mike Holloway going backwards. Okay, there's really not anything beeping, but hey. Oh, no, he's really backwards now in the wall. I think he kept it off the wall almost, though.
It's not going to be bad, but he, yeah, as you're saying, the beeps got a little bit quicker there towards the end. Backing up into the fence a little bit there, a little bit of contact with car there on the inside.
They kept it off the wall. Wow.
Wow.
That was Tim Shanowski that got him.
Yeah, good driving there by Mike Holloway to keep it off the wall.
Yeah, that beeping noise was his heart rate going up after that.
That's all right. You still want that. You still want to hear beeps there. You don't want the beep to stop it.
Oh, I stand corrected. Jacob Williams. I'm sorry, got in the back of Holloway. Yeah, slight contact. Those people right there are like, "Hey, that guy wrecked in front of me."
Yeah, they're great view by those three right there. Yeah, we've seen Samuel L. Jackson run around our broadcast here the last few weeks. I wonder if he's up in that grandstand.
Oh boy. See if I take a plane ride anywhere tonight. Shepard, Temples, Donnie Moore, Matt Shanowski, and John Holcomb, who's battled himself back up to 5th. He started 4th, fell back to 10th, and has been up to 5th. That's the yo-yo going into effect with Holcomb up to 5th here as we complete lap number 40, third caution out. No major incidents yet, but some great racing so far. And as you mentioned, if you love these modifieds, you can watch us every Saturday night. Next week, Southern National. You thought this track was high banked? Wait till you go there. It's a 4/10 mile you run laps around there in like 13 seconds in these
that is a very crazy track, and Southern National is always an absolute blast to watch a race there. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
Only thing I'd wish they'd do on that track, and same here at Five Flags, paint some lines there on the inside of the corner so we know where the apron is. So easy to clip the apron there and go spinning.
Well, and that's another thing too, is they got a line painted down here, but this track is so dark. Yeah. It is one of the darkest tracks on the iRacing service to see what's really going on here. So yeah, guys, that's don't adjust your set. That's how the track actually looks. It gets real dark here in these corners.
Well, I don't know if we can get a wide shot or not of the track, but if you look closely, the front stretch is really the only lit part on the outside of the track. You see the lights there in the front stretch, and then you look, everything else is on the infield. There's no lights outside the track other than on the front straightaway there. So that just shows you the darkness of this track, and yeah, it can be very tricky. But doubled up again, you're going to go green at lap number 42. Shepard's led them pretty much all. Lowell Jewell led the first couple laps, and then Shepard took over and has not let up. Ryan Detzler should give him a shout out. He's running 12th right now in his first modified race. He's getting the Outlaw initiation tonight. The pace car's off. Shepard back on it. Temple's not a good restart this time. He was kind of trying to toy with Shepard, I think, to try to get the jump like last time, but Shepard was on it. And Donnie Moore is going to take advantage of that Irwin Tools car. Oh, contact with Temples! Matt Shanowski gets a piece of it too.
Oh yeah, I forgot that commentator's curse is a thing.
So apparently it's not just Sean. They do have a reset though.
They do have a reset. I feel a little less guilty, but Philip, I no longer pick you. I hope that lifts the curse.
Well, your safest pick now would be John Hine.
Yeah, yeah. At this point, I know I can't hurt anyone if I pick John.
Trying to watch the view here. You're going to see up ahead here, looking out the front of Matt Shanowski. It almost looks like one of those deals where Donnie entered the corner late, maybe. Yeah, we'll have to see it again, and the best way to judge that is you watch the white line when somebody enters the corner. It just almost looks like Donnie entered turn 3 kind of high, and Phil took it to be he was going to go in lower, and that's where the contact happened here.
Well, if you're gonna make that outside work, you gotta pinch the guy. You can't give him a whole lot of room. You gotta be right up side by side with him, and you gotta trust that guy on the bottom. And it's not always the easiest to do, but yeah, that was hard contact with another car and in the outside wall. Philip Temples, he'll have to take a fast repair here.
Yeah, he'll take his repair here, but I watched him go from 8th to 2nd in the first run, so they're.
Yeah,
he should be able to come in. He'll get back up there.
Yeah, he could get back up there. It's not over for him yet, but it doesn't make your night any easier. And as the 0-0 of Matt Chinosky. Looks like Matt Chinosky's still out there in 4th, so maybe not too much damage on his car. Let's see how he does here on this restart.
He's got a little bit of nose damage there, and he does have the Hardee's paint scheme, so needless to say, right now it looks like one of those awkward moments where your bag of your Hardee's sandwich got a little crushed, and it might have a little damage to the sandwich as you go to open it up. And it's not quite a Carl's Jr. yet.
Oh, wow. This director, is Chris always this bad with his jokes? Yeah,
I can go ahead and say yes to that.
Yeah, I'm getting confirmation that this is typically how it goes.
Have you not watched one of your PRL broadcasts?
Well, I know. I just it's different when you're here, kind of stuck with it.
I see. Hey, you're here next week too, by the way.
No, it's just tonight.
What? I'm going to work on that deal next week. Anyways, that's for
we'll
off
see.
the air.
We'll see if I could stop by for a little bit.
Soup, are you available? Anyways, here we go. Pace car going to pull off Shepard Moore, which, by the way, they made contact last week at Lucas Oil. All of a sudden, Shepard's gone. Where'd Shepard go?
Wow, there goes your leader. So, new leader of the race is going to be John Holcomb in the 69 car. We're going to see that he's going to drop here in just a second. I'm pretty sure.
Not only did he drop out, but the championship race just got interesting thanks to whatever that was, and he's in the lead all of a sudden.
Okay, so...
But he's not the leader because it didn't count his laps. He's actually 14th now.
Yeah, he did lose that lap. Oh, wow.
Actually, he's on the tail end of the lead lap right now. How's that for a twist?
Yeah, so you're looking at the guy that should be in the lead right now. He is on the tail end of that lead lap. That's just a connection issue that we've had here in iRacing.
Williams going for the lead here now. Officially, it's for the lead. Sorry to interrupt you, James, but Jacob Williams to the front. And I think iRacing just pulled its version of an invert.
Yeah, the fan vote decided to send J.R. Shepard to the back of the field, I guess. But yeah, so J.R. Shepard, he's going to need he's definitely going to need a caution here to try and get caught up, and then he's going to be in the same boat as Philip Temples. He's going to have to try and work his way back up there.
So basically, with that situation happening, Jacob Williams now in the lead. He's looking for his first career Outlaw win. John Holcomb second, Donnie Moore, Matt Chinosky, Jeff Sharp, Tim Chinosky, your top 6, and J.R. Shepard, who was the leader, is now in 14th on the tail end of the lead lap due to blinking out for one whole lap.
Now, so I don't know if these Bootleg Racing League does anything. I know that they've given laps back in the past for dropping a connection, but I don't know if they have ever given you your position back in a case like this.
I don't think there's really anything you can do in that case other than throw the caution at EOL, everybody. I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, it wouldn't be out of the scope of reason, but I think we would have saw that here already. So I think that it's going to have to deal with the situation. It's one of those things you have to deal with in iRacing of almost like a mechanical failure. You almost have to teach it as sorts, and that's just sim racing. You're just going to have to deal with it and try and make the best out of your night from there.
Battle on back here for the 5th position. Jeff Sharp holds it. Tim Chinosky wants it. And that 07 car going to drop it down to the bottom here. And Sharp going to give it up pretty simple. And here comes David Loomis. Haven't said his name all night. Chip Dickard right there behind him, too, having a good run after being involved in some incidents earlier. Phil Temple fans, he's already up to 10th, by the way. Should mention he's trouble.
Yellow.
Ryan Detzler now on the wall.
Oh, Phil Temple's around
and Temples
again.
is in it. I was just speaking about him. Oh, and he gets clobbered by Shepard. And the luck gets worse for JR. Something tells me the admins aren't going to be happy with that move. You're kind of taught, you just kind of sit still until you know you're clear, and he went to back up down the track, and the Shepherd was waiting on him.
Yeah, you'll see he just gets loose going down here into turn 1, and then
He kind of hit Detzler there, yep. Lol, wow. Another car, wow. And he tries to get down the track here, spins it around, and then he has to go reverse, and here comes JR Shepard. Hello.
as a driver, you gotta sit there and wait. Yeah, I understand the need to get back going, so you don't lose that lap. But that's the thing that we've seen multiple times. Especially on iRacing service, of people just trying to get back going again. And
wow,
yeah, you'll see that contact there.
Now, it's interesting to see what happens with Shepard here, because I believe he's now a lap down in this race because of that incident happening. And from what I heard, there's going to be no lucky dog, so I'm just looking to see her right now. I've got Shepard actually still in the lead lap, so maybe they gave him... Yeah, so iRacing must have kept him on the lead lap even though that contact happened. So he might be the luckiest man on earth right now, because he just had that damage, had to go get the reset, and now gets to restart 13th and still be on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think that they were well under the yellow at that point and kind of past the point where iRacing will consider you being a part of the yellow. So he was probably able to still hold that position and get back around. And very, very lucky there for JR Shepard. So not the end of the world. It definitely could have been a lot worse. But I tell you, who is lucky right now? Jacob Williams. Man, if this works out well, I'd go buy a lottery ticket.
As far as my numbers are concerned, Jacob Williams has not won an Outlaw race. I could be wrong by that, but Williams leads. Holcomb second, Donnie Moore, Matt Shinowski, Tim Shinowski, Jeff Sharp, David Loomis, Chip Dickard, Mike Holloway, Lowell Jewell. Your top 10 as we get one to go to green. We're going to have 37 laps left. Is that too late for JR? Can he not get to the lead, you think, or can he do it?
Well, he's got a fast car. But this is we're running out of time. Let's see what he can make happen. He never spun around, so the tires should still hopefully be good. We'll see what he can do here. It's we'll see. This makes or break a champion here tonight.
It wouldn't be a Saturday night without some weird things happening on a short track. As Williams leads him back to green with 37 laps to go. Here I am doing math wrong again. Well, I don't do math. Donnie Moore there on the inside of John Holcomb. Tim Shinowski and his brother Matt. Watching Moore dive underneath John Holcomb. This is for second. Moore trying to snap a winless streak, which goes back a couple years, actually.
Yeah, and I think last time that I was here, Donnie Moore was winning a lot of races and everything in that SPCA Irwin car. So good to see him running up front here.
If Donnie were to win tonight, do you think he would want Krahula in the booth from now on? Here's a possible shot.
Oh, yeah, I just know that he don't want me talking about him.
That's Yazik, not you. But Jacob Williams there leading. You got about a half second already as he starts to stretch it a little bit. Everybody pretty much single file. JR Shepard underneath Chip Dickard. That's for 9th. Not able to make the move as Dickard shuts the door on him. We'll keep track of JR here as we're already 32 laps to go. Laps are ticking off here quick. 15, 16-second laps. JR doing everything he can. He's like, how do I do this?
By the way, Chris, going back to earlier, I thought you said my fan club was here. I just see Justin out there.
Apparently only one.
I mean, He's the only one I got to send the monthly newsletter to. So you might be right. The entire fan club might be here.
He might be the leader. Is he the leader of the Cruella Knights? Is Holloway?
Machinowski.
Go Machinowski sideways.
He's
into
around.
the wall. He's on the apron, so maybe no caution. Well, let's see if he can get on the track safely. He's going to be good, so we stay green.
Wow, he did a good job there of, man, he was wrecking all throughout turn one.
Oh, trouble
there's
now.
yellow.
Oh, big wrecking. J.R. Shepard's in it.
J.R. Shepard's in it. Who is
Lowell
that?
Jewell.
Ryan Detzler. Yeah, big wreck. Let's see what happened there.
Going down the corner, you see Shepard using that high line to get by Dickard, and contact between the two. Wow. Just climbing on in there. 4 cars. J.R. Shepard, he wants to get out of Florida pretty quickly, I think. The man who's dominated this race, led almost every lap until a glitch happened, and now, just like this, another incident which you wonder how much damage he got in that, because he kind of stayed to the high side as the other two came in. He might not have as much damage as we think.
That was a hard hit on that right rear, and I just got to be worried about that suspension there on that car. So if it's driving straight, hopefully it won't be too bad. But we'll find out here in a few minutes.
His car looks fairly clean on the screen there, as you see, so he might have gotten away with this. With 27 laps to go and caution out again, Williams has been the leader ever since Glitchgate, shall we call it, happened to J.R. Shepard. And oh, by the way, Jacob Williams started 13th.
Well, that's why we run all the laps. You'll have that here in racing, and that's definitely it's still not the weirdest thing. It's definitely weird, but that's still not the weirdest thing we've ever seen happen during a race before. So, J.R. Shepard, he's still in that 11th position. He'll have about 24 laps here to try and salvage a good night.
Anything can happen, as we've seen. I'm looking outside my house right now to see if I see a full moon anywhere, because this is about what it's looking like out here. Is what would happen on a full moon Saturday night short track racing is weird things.
Well, I don't know about the actual moon, but I just got to tap at my window. It's Sean Ambrose giving me a full moon, so
oh no,
that might explain some of the weird things we've had going on here tonight.
I'm gonna leave that comment alone. Joe Peak is probably double face palming over in his booth right now. So pace car lights are off. That white and green number 32 of Jacob Williams looking for that first win. Outside of him, Donnie Moore looking for his first win in a very long time. Tim Shinowski, Matt Shinowski, actually it's John Holcomb, wrong colored car there. But that's your top 4. How about Brian Barden up to the 8th position there in the 16 as we're back to racing? Can Donnie Moore do anything with Williams? Season 1 was all about domination. Season 2 has been all about upsets. Temple's getting wins. Shepard only having a couple wins himself. And now battle for second. Tim Shinowski underneath Donnie Moore. He gets a little loose into the corner. And Williams is loose too. And here comes Shinowski for the lead. Shut the door. No stop for you.
That was close.
Yeah, Matt Hoos getting a win this year. It's been full of upsets. Tim Shinowski diving under. And he is going to get him into one. New leader with 20 to go. Tim Shinowski.
Man, this top 4 right now is battling very hard.
Need we say holy Shinowski, Batman?
Yeah, and Jacob Williams is going to fall back to 4th position. Tim Shinowski is doing great, but John Holcomb and Donnie Moore, they're ready. It's crunch time, and they're just as competitive as Tim right now. This race is definitely not over. As Jake
Williams loses it in the wall. Whoa, he almost got clipped.
As I was saying earlier, Chris, the cars weren't handling well to start out with, and when you get on these older tires, it's not going to get better.
That Dodge SRT car just rammed the inside wall, literally.
And we saw him the last few laps. That was definitely battling an ill-handling race car there, and when you're up there battling for the lead, you got to go and you got to push the limit, and it's just a little too far beyond what the tires are capable of.
Well, caution out again here. 18 laps to go as these tires are definitely playing a role, but Tim Shanowski, it came to life pretty much. Came to life, his car did there, and he just flew to the front, took the lead, and it's 17 laps to go, and Shanowski leads now. John Holcomb, Donnie Moore, Jeff Sharp, Mike Holloway, David Loomis, and look who's 7th. All of a sudden, J.R. Shepard, Brian Barton, Matt Shanowski, Chip Dickert, your top 10. We're going to, looks like, have about a 13 or 14 lap shootout here to the checkered flags. And now we try to tell you this is why you come and join us each Saturday night here on the Global Sim Racing channel for the Bootleg Racing League, because these guys put on a show. It's so fun to watch. You never know what's going to happen.
Oh, I see that nothing really has changed here in this league. It is still an absolute blast here every single Saturday night. These races are always so entertaining.
And if you want to be a part of the series, they run 3 different series on Saturday nights. The street stocks are at 7 o'clock. That was won by J.R. Shepard tonight. The trucks usually run on 8 o'clock at 8 o'clock each Saturday night. Unfortunately, that didn't happen tonight. And then now the Outlaws on the track here at 9. They also have the Dirt Series Tuesday nights at 7:15. Just meet up with Lowell Jewell there, and you can get signed up to be a part of it. Now, the Outlaws are an invitational only. So all these guys have been personally invited up to join the league. So that's the only difference between that and the other series that are run.
And tell you what, it is definitely a long waiting list. If you make it to this series and everything here, you've definitely earned your cut your teeth there on the short tracks here on the iRacing service. These guys, they do a great job, and that's why you see a lot of these same names here for many years. It's always cool when you see someone else come and join this series here, because always excited to see what they're going to be able to do, because you know that they've earned the right to be here.
Absolutely. And I've run a couple street stock races with these guys, and they're tough, and they definitely bring their A game each and every Saturday night on the short tracks. Now, as we mentioned, Sean, we're going to give a shout out to his son Ian, who graduated. And that's where Sean's at, down at graduation. So we're going to tip my cap to Mr. Ian. And at this point, he would usually say it's time to boogie, because we're less than 20 to go, and Shanowski's on it. 12 laps to go to be exact. Next time by is Donnie Moore tries to grab second. He gets loose off the corner. Everybody's moving in. Look at Shepard up to 5th. Don't call it a comeback.
Oh no!
Well, above it, there it goes. Shepard in it. Wow, Holloway, Williams, no caution yet. Now it's out. Holcomb, Sharp, Lowell Jewell.
That was a long wreck. But yeah, you'll see. You got pinched down there in the wall, and everyone just kind of piles in. After that, J.R. Shepard, he got a big chunk of it, but I think he might have escaped without too much damage there. And with less than 10 laps to go, you gotta just you can maybe make that happen. But you just see little Joel comes piling in there, and there's nowhere for these guys to go.
That is really shaking up this race now. Just looking at Shepard's car here. He's the one I'm trying to keep. Brian Barton here. Watch this. Excuse me. Coming through. Pardon me. Excuse me. He made it through. I think he just went from 12th to 7th or 6th probably in that one lap.
Yeah, seventh. Well, still in seventh right now. But yeah, he gained a couple spots there. But you just saw how quickly everything kind of closed up there.
Oh, Detzler. Wow, so let's look now at what we have. We have Shinowski still leading. We have Donnie Moore second. Look at David Loomis up to third in the 91 car. Matt Shinowski up to fourth. Ryan Detzler, I'm looking at his nose. I don't see much damage on that thing. He is fifth. J.R. Shepard now up to sixth. And, for how much he's hit tonight, his car looks fairly clean. Brian Bard now seventh. Chip Dickert 8th. Jacob Williams 9th. And John Holcomb in 10th. Jeff Sharp 11th, and they're the only cars left on the lead lap. Lowell Jules taking his car to the pits. Mike Holloway's done the same, and we're going to have about a 6-lap shootout to get to the finish here. And Tim Shinowski pull it off tonight.
I know, as you're saying, Donnie Moore, it's been a while since he's been in victory lane. He can get it done, so we'll see what Donnie Moore's able to do here.
I will just say this. This is my 5th season, I think, I've been a part of the Outlaws. Sean and I have been doing this, and I have not seen Donnie Moore win a race yet. That's how long it's been since Donnie Moore's won a race, and it's not from lack of him being good. You see where he's at.
In the last year that I covered him, we were talking to him in victory lane a good amount.
Donnie actually pointed out, and I think it's the first time we're going to say this on the air, that we actually have our 100th Outlaw broadcast coming up here in just a couple weeks.
Oh, very, very cool to hear that. This has been a great league here on GSRC. We have a blast covering them.
Here we go. 6 laps to go, and they cross the line. Tim Shinowski gets a big jump on Donnie Moore. Here comes David Loomis for second. Moore shuts the door on him. Next time by, we're going to be at the point of no return, so everybody better be careful. And for those that don't know, the point of no return means there's no green, white checkers. The next flag ends as Donnie is all over Tim. Chrome horn maybe going to use here.
Oh, and that's going to end it. We see Brian Barden around turn 1.
Barden and Chip Dickert, the 04. Looking at the replay here. Oh, Dickert drives it in. Oh. Our good friend Netcode has made an appearance. Senor Netcode.
He's the friend that comes over and empties out your fridge. I'm not too big of a fan of Netcode.
Yeah, he's the one that always takes all my chocolate milk I drink at night. Wow. Two laps to go, and what's funny is I can't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago when Sean was talking to Tim Shinowski. He always talked about how Matt beat him the majority of the time, and he gave Tim his 15 seconds of fame and said, "Here's your time to let it happen." Well, tonight, Tim Shinowski is going to get the top step of the podium in the 07. Upset about to happen here in 2 laps. As long as he doesn't Mark Martin it, he'll go to victory lane.
Yeah, very good run here by Tim. Awesome to see him in victory lane. Great to see Donnie Moore get a second as well, and David Loomis sneaking up there onto the podium too. Great run by David.
We'll have to check the stats. That might be Loomis's first podium finish actually in the Outlaw. So nice job by the 91 car there. So we still have 2 laps to go. If we're going to get anything, it would have had to have been last time by. So we are going to end under caution, unfortunately. But you're going to see David Loomis third, Matt Shinowski. How about Ryan Detzler finishes 5th in his debut tonight? J.R. Shepard going to finish 6th. And out of everybody, points-wise, it looks like only Donnie Moore is going to be the one who catches him a little bit. Everybody else finished down below him. White flag out one final time around the half mile here. Hey, and let's share this, James. First place, Tim Shinowski, Pennsylvania. Second place, Donnie Moore, New England. Third place, David Loomis, New England. Matt Shanowski, fourth, Pennsylvania. The Northeast had this place on lockdown apparently tonight.
Yeah, they came down here and played well in the Florida weather. Doing really well here tonight.
Shanowski, Tim, that is, taking a checkered flag in the Outlaw 100 at Five Flags Speedway. Big congrats to Tim, Donnie Moore, David Loomis, Matt Shanowski, Ryan Detzler, an Indiana driver. Your top 5, you see the fireworks going off there off the back straightaway, and we will talk to the top 3 finishers, recap the race, and who knows, have some more fun. That's what we do as you're watching the Global Sim Racing channel. And back at Five Flags Speedway, and to quote James Krahula earlier, the bald and the beautiful with you. I'm the bald, apparently. Anyways, Tim Shanowski, He's looking beautiful in victory lane with his first win of the season. Donnie Moore finishing second. David Loomis finishing third. Matt Shanowski. Ryan Detzler, his debut, gets himself a top 5. Shepard, Holcomb, Williams, Sharp, and Chip Dickert, your top 10, James.
11th will go to Brian Barden, involved in that last accident there. Lowell Jewell, Mike Holloway, Philip Temples, and John Hinn will round out your top 15 here tonight. 12th through 15th all seeing troubles and not being able to finish the race.
A lot of people seeing troubles tonight, and only a few could get there to finish when it's all over with. But one guy made the strong move there towards the end of the race, about 25 to go. He restarted, I think, third. It jumped right to the lead in one lap. Tim Shanowski. Sean said it a couple weeks ago, my friend. He said, you get your 15 minutes of fame as you beat out your brother Matt. Tonight, you're on the top step. You've just won this thing. Now you really get your 15 minutes of fame.
I know, that was a really crazy race with JR losing his connection a bit coming to that restart, and the cars were just sliding all over the track all night, and it was a very interesting race.
Seemed like your car was fairly stable throughout the night. I saw a lot of cars dancing around, and you seem to have yours under control. What were you feeling?
Well, I was feeling probably what everyone else was feeling. After the first few laps, the back end would just want to come around on the entry to the corner. And I just trying to play with the throttle a bit to try to keep from spinning out was my main objective, and I was able to do that.
Well, how good is it to finally be able to sit here and say that you've got yourself a win in the Outlaws again?
It feels really good. It's been a while. Last season at Irwindale, I had a really rough start to this season, and finally was able to get back on the podium to talk to you guys last week, and now climbed 2 more spots to the top step. So I'm really happy with it.
Well, Tim, you did a whale of a job tonight. Congratulations on that win, and send shout out to whoever you like to, buddy.
I just want to thank Lawrence Towing for sponsoring our modified series, Lowell Jewell and Matt Hoos for running the league. I want to give a shout out to David Loomis for getting his first podium in the modifieds, and Ryan Detzler finishing 5th, I believe, his first time out with us. So yeah, just good job to those guys, and looking forward to next week.
Yeah, great job all those drivers, and especially you, Tim. Congratulations back on the top step. We'll see if we can keep it going at Southern.
All right. Great to see you next week.
All right, buddy. Tim Shanowski, your winner tonight here at Five Flags Speedway, and James Garula is going to have a talk with his old buddy, Donnie Moore.
Indeed. And Donnie Moore, it's been a while since I've covered you in one of these races, but here you are on the podium again, so I see that things really haven't changed that much. Talk to us about your second place finish here tonight.
What a crazy, crazy night. Jeez, boy. Second place is okay, but I would have liked to seen it go green the distance and see what I had for Tim.
A crazy night is probably the most simple way that you could put it. There was a lot of weird stuff going on here tonight, but still, we saw that Irwin ASPCA car running really well here tonight. Yeah, so you thought that you had something there for Tim if you would have kept it green?
Oh, I might have. I was fortunate to start on the inside on that last restart, and so I might have had him, but who knows? Maybe not. Tim is a great racer, so hats off to him. He ran a great race.
Well, we're coming up towards the end of this season here. You're in the top 5 in points. How do you feel? You're still within striking distance, and J.R. Shepard didn't have the best tonight either. How do you feel? Do you think you still have a chance at this championship? We got just a few more weeks.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. No, JR had perhaps his worst night ever, and that's not going to happen again. No, JR's got this wrapped up. He's too good a driver for that. But no, we just keep going. We got some big guns missing tonight. So Matt Hoos, Olive Krankenstein was missing. So big guns are missing. I thought I might be able to break my winless streak tonight, but again, hats off to Shanowski. He ran a great race, and Dave Loomis, hats off to him, his first podium.
Yeah, a lot of great runs for a lot of people here tonight. But Donnie, before we send you off to head down to Southern National, any last thoughts before you head down up the road, head a little north here for next week?
Hey, thanks to you guys. Great job as always. Hats off to Lowell, Bootleg Racing, and hats off to Lawrence Towing, virtualgrip.net, and ASPCA. Thanks, man.
Well, thank you, Donnie. It's great talking to you again. And Chris Scala has David Loomis, first time on the podium here. I'm sure he's going to be very excited.
Yeah, I'm sure he is excited. David Loomis joining us here, and got to ask David, you had your issues at the beginning of the race, but you just slowly worked your way through. Started 14th tonight, and all of a sudden a P3 on the podium tonight for your first time.
Yeah, it was an interesting race. Tried to stay out of trouble like I could, and ended up third.
Talk about the racing out there. It looked wild. Looked like the bottom line was the way to go, but the car was just so sideways it seemed like all the way through the corner.
Yeah, the bottom line's always the way around that track. Got a little loose going into the turn, and if you overdrive the turn, you'll be loose coming out. So there's a lot of side contact during the race tonight.
Talk about this momentum, because you're going to a track now that is pretty similar to this track. Southern, a little smaller, but high bank like this. You think you can carry it into next week?
Hoping so. Just being patient, letting the car stay normal. Don't overdrive it early in the race, so I have something left on. This season's been, more learning than anything, and I learned to save the car for longer runs.
Well, as they say, when you're learning, you crawl before you walk and walk before you run. You got your top three to get you the second or maybe even a victory here soon.
That's what we're hoping for. I'd like to stay top 5. We'll see what we can do.
That's all that matters, David. Well, congratulations on your third, and you get your 5 seconds of fame. Send a shout out to whoever you like to, buddy.
Just to my family, parents, brothers, wife.
Absolutely. So congratulations on your top 3, David, and we'll talk next week.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. David Loomis finishing third, James, as we get ready to wrap up and go home and get ready for Mother's Day Sunday. Your final thoughts after tonight's race and what you've seen.
Oh, man, I just always have so much fun coming out here. Thanks to Bootleg Racing League for letting me come up here and help commentate tonight. That was a great race. Glad to see Tim Shinosky get that win. Donnie Moore, David Lewis, a lot of great happy stories to take away from this one. Five Flags is a great track. Always an absolute blast to come out here, and fun doing a broadcast with you, Chris.
Absolutely, James. Always a pleasure, and hopefully we'll get back together soon and rock and roll. Otherwise, I'll just see you on Thursday. So, thanks to our title sponsor, Lawrence Towing. They service Indianapolis, Indiana, and the neighboring communities. If you find yourself in need of a tow, Lawrence Towing is the way to go. Also, Virtual Grip Network. It's a blog devoted to the news from the world of iRacing at virtualgrip.net. You can stay up to date on what's happening at iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Block Pond GT Series and the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. You can check them out at virtualgrip.net or facebook.com/virtualgrip. Also, thanks to the Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. For more info about the BRL, you can find them at facebook.com/Bootleg Racing League and bootlegracingleague.com. Also, thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen now, we use to broadcast each and every race. Now, the original music you heard all year on the broadcast has been thanks to Eric Eckholm and Casey Lalonde. You can see the screen on how to contact each of them. Now, if you need more info about all GSRC events, you can go to globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and facebook.com/globalsimracingchannel. We have upcoming races for other series on the screen right there. You can see the next one actually going to be at Southern National coming up here next week, which is race number 8 of Season 2 for the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series. So it should be a pretty fun night as we get ready to go to Southern National Motorsports Park next Saturday. We'll see you at 9:15 Eastern Time. Please wish your mom a happy Mother's Day. Give her a call tomorrow. And otherwise, happy Mother's Day to those watching us tonight. For Dougie Beard, Joe Peak, James Carhula, filling in for Sean Ambrose, I'm Chris Scala. Race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.